The first thing Nia Carter remembered was the cold. Not the kind that came from Chicago winters, the biting wind off Lake Michigan that slipped through wool coats and froze your breath midair. No, this cold was deeper, final, the kind that lived in bones after life had already left them. She remembered the sound of her own heartbeat fading and the last face she saw, her husband's, Darius. Then, warmth, a sharp inhale, and light. Nia shot upright in bed, gasping, clutching her chest like she'd been pulled from underwater. Her lungs burned, her heart thundered. Sunlight spilled through familiar floor-to-ceiling windows. The skyline stretched beyond them. Chicago, bright and alive. Her apartment. Her old apartment. Her hands trembled as she grabbed her phone from the nightstand. Date, April 12th, 2023. 3 years. 3 years before he killed her. At first, Nia thought it was trauma, a dream. Some twisted aftershocks of what Darius had done, poisoned her wine, held her as she struggled, whispering apologies that meant nothing. But the details were too sharp, too precise. The betrayal, the offshore accounts, the insurance policy he'd taken out in her name, and the woman. She remembered everything, which meant one thing. This wasn't a second chance. This was a reckoning. Nia didn't panic. She planned. She played her role perfectly. Loving wife, rising real estate developer, polished and unshakable. Darius never suspected a thing. Why would he? In his mind, she was still the woman who trusted him completely. But Nia started making quiet changes. She moved money, legally, carefully, into accounts only she controlled. She rewrote her will. She began documenting everything. And, most importantly, she started watching him. Darius Carter was charm wrapped in ambition. A financial consultant with just enough success to look legitimate and just enough hunger to be dangerous. Nia had once loved that hunger. Now she saw it for what it was. Greed with a tailored suit. She noticed the signs earlier this time. Late-night calls, hidden messages, a name that popped up too often. Vanessa. The same woman from before. The same accomplice. The same mistake he didn't realize he'd already made once. But this time, Nia wasn't alone. She met Marcus Reed on a rainy afternoon in Bronzeville. Officially, he was a forensic accountant. Unofficially, he was the one person who had believed her instincts before, back when she first suspected irregularities in her firm's books. In her previous life, she ignored his warnings. This time, she didn't. Marcus was calm, precise, and quietly relentless. The kind of man who didn't need to raise his voice to take control of a room. And when she told him what she suspected about Darius, he didn't dismiss her. He leaned in. "You want proof?" Marcus said, sliding a file across the table. "Not revenge?" Nia met his eyes. "I want both." What started as strategy became something else. Late nights turned into conversations. Conversations turned into trust. Trust turned into something deeper. Something neither of them rushed to name. Because this wasn't just about love, it was about survival. Piece by piece, they dismantled Darius. Marcus traced the hidden accounts. Nia fed Darius controlled information, bait he couldn't resist. They documented every transfer, every lie, every betrayal. And then they waited. Because Nia knew something Marcus didn't. Darius wouldn't stop. He would escalate. 3 months later, he did exactly what she remembered. He increased her life insurance. He pushed for joint financial control. And finally, he planned her death. But this time, the glass of wine was switched. The room was wired, and the police were already waiting. The confusion hit him first, then panic, then realization. "You," he choked. Nia leaned closer, her voice steady. "I remember everything." The door burst open. Police, lights, voices shouting. Darius was dragged away, his empire collapsing in seconds. Fraud, conspiracy, attempted murder. This time, he didn't get away with it. Weeks later, Chicago moved on like it always did. Traffic roared down Lakeshore Drive. The skyline shimmered. And Nia, for the first time, felt free. She stood on her balcony, the wind brushing her face. Marcus stepped beside her. "It's over," he said. Nia nodded, but she turned to him, something softer in her eyes. "It's not," she said. "Not completely." He raised an eyebrow. She smiled. "Now I get to live." He didn't rush her, didn't push, just stood there beside her. Steady, patient, real. And for the first time in 2 lives, Nia chose love that didn't come with a cost. Some people get justice. Some get revenge. Nia Carter got both.